Okay, so people are always saying, sis, what did you pray? Like, give me the prayer verbatim. I want to pray exactly what you prayed. God, whatever prayer, precious pray, amen. But listen, that's not how it always goes. I can tell you what I prayed, but you have to understand that you also have to posture yourself for your prayers. You have to also become what it is that you're praying for. You also have to be the exact same thing. Oftentimes we are praying for things that we also are not aligned to. So as you pray, get aligned to what it is that you're looking for. So I joined a Pray for Your Future Spouse challenge. For those who don't know that, in January of 2020, I had decided that I wanted to be open to love again. I didn't want to be in a space where I was turned off to love, didn't want to open up again, didn't want to give my heart away, didn't want to be in a place where I was open to what it is that God had for me. Listen, I'm a person that wants God's will for my life. And so if I want God's will for my life, that means I want his will, I want his way, I want what he wants for me, regardless of if my life or heart or season doesn't want the very thing that he desires for me. And so went through a long journey, 7 years of singlehood, taking care of myself, focusing on me, healing, forgiving others. And I decided in January of 2020 that I was ready to love again. But just because I was ready in January 2020 doesn't mean he came in January 2020. I also had to prepare myself, continue to examine myself, and make sure I actually was really ready for what it was that I wanted. So I made that declaration in January 2020. You best believe people came out of the woodworks, came from every different direction. But I was at a place in my life where I was so postured with the Lord that I wasn't desperate for anything, that I said, God, I want your will and what you want for me. And so regardless of what's presenting itself, you show me what it is that I have purpose with, and not just anything. I don't want just to be in a relationship. I desire to have the relationship that you want for me, that's going to be purposeful, that is going to have ministry, that's going to fulfill your will in the earth, and that's going to be a reflection of what it is that you have for me, regardless of how good we look on paper, how good we look to everybody else, how much it makes sense. I want the will of God for my life. And so in in August of 2020, I joined the Pray for Your Future Spouse Challenge. And during that challenge, you pray for your person's purity, that they open to love and dating, that they want the will of God for their lives, that they are healing, and that they are surrounded with accountability. The very things that I was praying for him to have, I also made sure that I had. Oftentimes we praying for stuff and we also are not in alignment with what it is that we are praying for. Make sure you're in alignment with what it is that you desire. After that, I received a phone call from my spiritual mentor at the time, and she gave me a prophetic word and said that she had a vision of me, and that she saw a ring in front of me, and that the man God had for me was right in front of me. And I was like, whoa, like I was overwhelmed with emotion, because I already had felt that I knew I was being led by God to pray for my future spouse. She was like, anything that is in your spirit, or anybody that is it has you emotionally, you might want to get rid of them, because your future spouse will not be able to be joined to you if somebody else is in your emotions, in your spirit. Baby, I started clearing house. I'm like, all right, if God has somebody for me, then I want to be ready and I want to be in position for them. I don't want them to not see me because something else is there. Well, lo and behold, cleared house, removed anybody that was just a space filler that I know I didn't have purpose with. And 2 months later, the whole time this person was in front of me, the whole time, this guy that I was coaching track with, never even looked at each other like this. All of a sudden, we have eyes one for another. Unbeknownst to me, he's praying for a kingdom woman in July of 2020, and then I'm praying for my spouse in August of 2020. And he says, when you are praying to God for something, you better know what it looks like when it shows up. That's alignment. Here we are, 3 years later, married, engaged, 2 months after courting, married 7 months after that, and then 3 years we've been married. So what is the prayer? The prayer is that you are aligned, so that what you're praying is also praying for you. What you're seeking is also seeking you. What you desire is also desiring you.